Cook Burgess. It's not just property, it's personal.
Hey guys, Paul here from Cook Burgess, and in this short video I wanted to tell you about something that's had a massive impact on the way that we run our business and the way that we get stuff done, and that is taking on a virtual assistant. When we started our property journey, little did we know that somebody who we'd never met, never shook hands with and never sat around the table with would have such a pivotal role in the success of our company. When we started, we'd heard the term VA bandied around, but we hadn't really paid too much attention because we were just buried our heads in work and we were too busy with BMV, PLO and ROIs and all this other stuff. But a VA, or a virtual assistant, is essentially somebody who is your assistant but who works remotely. Usually you'll not be their only client, and they may not be property specific. And what they do for you and your business is entirely up to you and them to decide. I've heard people saying that VAs are good for dealing with the low-level tasks involved in running a business, as it frees them up to take care of the more important stuff. Since we've started using a VA, I'd completely disagree with that really, because if you get swamped with admin and the low-level tasks, you can bet your life that your business will suffer. When you start forgetting to do your gas safety checks on time, or a property insurance runs out and if you get to renew it because you're too busy smashing out deals, these things are going to quickly compound, and the only thing getting smashed will be your business. So these kind of low-level tasks that people say that VAs can do, they're actually hugely important tasks that you really cannot afford to miss doing. Our VA is called Karen. We've never met her. I don't know where she lives, but one thing I do know is that she is a total legend. We found Karen through LinkedIn, but there's loads of other places that VAs advertise their services. I mean, they're just a Google away. When we first employed Karen, I did question what parts of running our business she could take on. But after a short few weeks, that question had changed to what can't she do? The truth is, if you find yourself a good VA, and if you have detailed processes in place, they should be able to reproduce any of the work that you currently do. John and I have a rule. If we need to do something more than 3 times, we make an effort to document the process and outsource it. This has grown into a comprehensive operations manual that we are confident one day will completely remove us from the day-to-day running of our business. And it's this operations manual that we've given to Karen in chunks for her to take over doing the tasks that we were having to do. And some examples of what Karen currently does for us. Karen now takes care of all our tenant referencing. She checks and chases late payments. She does all of our property sourcing. We've set up the search criteria, and Karen sends us a weekly list of all the results that have come up. We look at the list, and then we ask Karen to book the viewings for the ones that we feel are worth viewing. Karen makes sure that all our property administration is up to date. She makes all of our travel arrangements, she organises our HMO days, and she posts all of our social media. And all of this has been quite easy to hand over really, as we've been quite diligent in documenting all of the processes involved in doing all of the above tasks. And that's something that I would really advise that you start doing right from the beginning. As you're doing something the first time, write it down so that it's there for you the next time, but it's also there if you ever go into business with somebody or you get a VA somewhere down the line. Because for us it really was as easy as handing Karen the instruction manual for these given tasks, and she just got on with it. Yeah, sure, there's a couple of teething problems, but where wouldn't you expect a few hiccups when you're handing something like this over? Now it's handed over, we just sit back and relax. I mean, at the moment, the past 2 weeks I've been in Florida, and whilst I've been here, Karen's been taking care of everything above. I know that our social media has gone out as scheduled, all of our tenants have paid, and we'll get an email tomorrow morning with a list of all the properties that have come up for sale in our area that meet our criteria. We'll have a look and we'll ask Karen to book the ones that we're interested in. And I mean, this kind of freedom, it's just invaluable, and Karen helps out massively with providing us with that. We have contact with Karen once a week via a scheduled once weekly half-hour Skype meeting. This week, John was in Chester, Karen was somewhere in the northeast, and I was lucky enough to be wearing my flip-flops on a beach here in Florida, and that is no exaggeration. It's 3G, you can do this stuff from anywhere in the world. On a day-to-day basis, we communicate using an iPhone app called Wunderlist. It's basically a to-do list application that can be accessed from our iPhones, where we can create tasks and then allocate those tasks to ourselves or to Karen. If we allocate Karen a task, she gets a notification informing her. We can then have real-time back and forth dialogue through the messaging function on Wunderlist. And once it's been done, Karen ticks it off, and both John and I know immediately that that job and task has been done. We pay our VA £12 per hour, which I think is the average cost that we found when doing our research prior to employment. We get billed monthly, and we receive a breakdown of what every single minute has been spent doing. So you know exactly what time has been spent where. You know, if it's 15 minutes property sourcing, 10 minutes sorting out a plumber to sort the leak out at number 12, it all comes back detailed if you've got a good VA. We didn't negotiate a minimum number of hours, but the number of hours that we employ Karen for has definitely gone up and is growing all the time. And this is a cost that makes me really happy, because for every £12 we get billed, it's an hour more of my time that I've got back to do other stuff. If you'd like to know more about how we leverage other people's time and expertise so we can spend more time doing the things that we love, then don't hesitate to get in touch. It's one of the things that John and I are really passionate about, and we're really passionate about teaching people how they can do this as well. I've also been thinking about making a how-to guide on setting up a Wunderlist account and how to get most out of it. If this is something that you feel would benefit you, a kind of Wunderlist how-to guide, then let me know, put it in the comments section, and I'll do that. And that's about it really. Virtual assistants changed the way that we ran Cook Burgess. It's amazing, and I think that everybody should think about getting a virtual assistant if you haven't already got one, because they're amazing. And that's the end of the video. If you've got any questions, let me know, and I appreciate you watching these. Thank you very much. Take care, and until the next one, goodbye.